Welcome to the EarthWorks podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon from many of our turf friends from the past 30 years.
Hello all, and welcome to the EarthWorks podcast. This week I'm your host, Jack Higgins. I'm here at Sleepy Hollow Country Club with Jon Heywood. Jon.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
How we doing?
Real good, real good. Yeah, dude, we're out here. We're filming on the course. What hole are we on?
15, the Punch Bowl.
The Punch Bowl. Yeah, the Punch Bowl green. Tell us about the shape of this thing.
It's just like it sounds. It's a punch bowl. Everything kind of funnels down to the middle of the green, and you got a lot of shot options to just kind of hit it in there and let it funnel down.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So, and we're also overlooking the Hudson. This is like the beautiful location here on a perfect October day in the middle of we've had nonstop weather like this. We were talking in your office that you're really having to green keep like it's like July or August out here.
Yeah, it's dry, it's windy, still got some pretty high ET rates for October, but I wouldn't trade it for the opposite. I mean, the playability's been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. But it's trickier this time of year to water because the water sticks around. You kind of have to you have to really thread that needle, I guess.
Exactly. It's walking a fine line. We've had to turn some heads off that have been getting areas too wet, and turning some up that with tree roots are sucking water out, and so it's a constant evolution.
So Jon, tell us a little bit more about you. How long have you been here? Where'd you come from? How long have you been here?
Yeah, so I'm wrapping up my third season here at Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was at Morris County Golf Club in Morristown, New Jersey for 7 years.
Great place.
Another awesome Seth Rayner kind of McDonald-esque golf course.
Yep.
And then prior to that, I was the East Course Superintendent at Wingfoot with Rabideau for 3 years.
And you were there. No, were you there during the Open?
I was not. So
okay.
I went back to volunteer. I spent the whole week as a volunteer for the 2020 U.S. Open, which was an awesome experience.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was part of the restoration that Gil did with LeBar Golf. We did the East Course and the practice facility. So we're probably about 90% done with the East Course restoration when I left.
Yeah, and Rabideau's been on this podcast and did a very in-depth talk about the variable depth of those greens when you shelled them out and everything. It was really a cool talk.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what you were there for, I
guess. So I was there for that. They really kind of got that variable depth concept really dialed in when they did the West Course.
Mm-hmm.
East Course was just kind of really getting the construction really dialed down, and but that process was just amazing to work with, and both courses came out amazing.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Of course.
Yeah.
What a place. Now Sleepy here. I find it so cool because we're here in October, and I think that this podcast is going to go out on Halloween.
Yeah.
This is the legend of Sleepy Hollow. This is where that story is supposed to have happened.
Yeah.
Right? I'm kind of on this property.
Yeah. Old folklore. There's a kind of a dirt path trail out back by our 14th tee near our trap and ski cabin, and that supposedly is where the whole Ichabod Crane and Headless Horseman deal went down.
Yeah, we got to read in the Wikipedia pages of all this and everything. It was this whole area was Dutch colonial, and that story was supposed to be in the late 1790s or something.
Yeah.
The Headless Horseman was supposed to be a Hessian mercenary soldier. That's what I was reading. Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's cool stuff. It's a really awesome place to be around. This time of year in October and Halloween. It's not so fun driving through town on the weekends, but we try to avoid that as best as possible.
Now you guys host a number of member events, and your logo is the Headless Horseman.
Yes.
You said you have an event called the Headless Horseman.
The Headless Horseman.
All right. There you go.
So it's kind of gained a reputation over the years, but it's a lot milder now than it was back in the 90s.
Oh, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Good for them. That's the idea. We are out here for fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, that event came up when you were telling me about the 2023 Mid-Am, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys hosted the USGA Mid-Am here last summer. And it was a challenge. I mean, I think it's always going to be a challenge. It's such a long event.
For sure.
But fill us in. So this was in September of last year.
It was. So September. I mean, the USGA Mid-Am is a tremendous championship, but it's a long one. It's more of a marathon than a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And we were pestered by constant rains. I mean, it just rained every single day. we were able to still maintain the championship speeds that they wanted, and we exceeded the expectations of the USGA by, not sacrificing any time or anything of that in that regard. So we had an extra day of the championship where they finished the last 18 holes of the 36-hole championship match. And literally as they were pulling out, we had carnival and circus rides pulling in for the Headless Horseman tournament, which was taking place 36 hours later.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just crazy schedule. You said something that I found really cool, because I had said like, oh dude, you want to talk about the mid-am? I know like that was a really challenging week because of all the rain. And you said like, you know what, like the challenge really just made our crew look better, like more capable. That was like a nice takeaway. You were like,
definitely. I mean, anytime you're faced with adversity, it's really about how you can overcome that, and the biggest part of that is being prepared for the adversity. And we were fortunate, we've got great industry partners with John Deere and Finch and Toro. They were really good with getting us equipment that we needed, and I had a great number of volunteers that came out to help us out for the event. So everything the USGA asked us to do, I felt like we were able to meet those needs and exceed them when possible.
Yeah. Now, and like let's like be real about the vast scale of this property.
Yeah.
You have nearly 40 acres of fairways. You have like what you said, 8 acres of greens or something.
Yeah, we spray for 7 acres of greens. The property, from line to line is about 400 acres.
Oh my gosh. It's a 27-hole facility, but but it's 400 acres on top of this mountain overlooking the Hudson.
Right.
It's stunning, first of all, but it's a beast.
Yes, it is. It is.
And a beast to get around, and your shop's kind of like down over the hill. I'm sure it's kind of a challenge.
Yeah, two different shops. Our main shop tucked down below the old horse stables from back in the late 1800s. And then we've got our kind of newer remote shop up here where we store some equipment.
Okay.
But all of our lithium carts have 3 battery packs in them, so we can make sure we can get around and they last the day. So
wow. Yeah, so that's all part of it. When you send out to mow fairways, like for an event like that, like how many fairway units were going out?
We sent anywhere from 8 to 10 fairway mowers out just to get everything done in the morning.
But you were able to be out ahead of all of that play, despite there being those rain delays.
Exactly,
like you said. So way cool. And like it was a challenging golf course for them. It's still it was still a great venue.
Yeah, I think it still provided a really challenging testament of golf. It's not an easy place to play. You have to make your shots. Your short game's got to be really good. Mm-hmm. That's what this place is all about. Fortunately, the greens were pretty receptive with the excess rainfall that we received. But, we still had good speeds, and the course setup was challenging when it needed to be, and it was a good test of golf.
Yeah, definitely. So, but then it came right into like the rest of the member events for the year, which like right now you do a lot of fall events, a lot of second half events. So you were right up into that. You were double cutting every day in the rain, and then you still had to turn that golf course over. So yeah, it's something else. And also you said you had to push off your airification schedule that year.
We did, yeah. Normally we airify greens right after Labor Day. We do greens, tees, approaches all in that week. And obviously with the Mid-Am Championship, the second week of September, we were able to close for 2 days and do a quick little dry eject, Tuesday, Wednesday, the following week. And then we just kind of picked up a slack late fall.
Okay, yeah. So the dry ejected, you were able to open things up a little bit. Was that just a straight sand dry eject?
Yeah, just straight sand dry eject, just to get some holes open and some sand incorporated in the profile, and give the greens a little breather.
Yeah. So let's see. Tell us more turf types, kind of greenkeeping, thoughts that you have. Like, what are you managing here, and what do you do that's a little bit different, maybe?
Sure. So the greens are primarily POA. We have some greens that have a higher population of bent grass, but they're probably about 80% POA.
Okay.
For the most part, on average, I'd say 80 to 90. And then our fairways are predominantly older bent grasses. There's some ryegrass crept in there. There's some POA. A little bit of fescue in some spots.
Has there been sod out here in recent years?
No, not a lot. We've only done a little bit of patchwork here and there. We've been overseeding pretty aggressively with some turf type tall fescue and Kentucky bluegrass.
Okay.
But we were like a 100-year-old golf course, we have a 100-year-old rough.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like we're standing on it. We've driven around. It's very clean. Like everything look like if you told me that, oh yeah, these bunker surrounds got sodded like 10 years ago, I wouldn't be surprised because everything looks very uniform. Maybe a great cut. It looks like you're getting a great cut out here too. Now it is very dry. Right? We're in like
very dry.
Yeah, but things just look really even. You have like a very consistent look.
Yeah, we try to stay on top of it as best we can. You know, we're in leaf season right now, almost peak leaf season when they're starting to drop. Mm-hmm. But I've got a great team. You know, they come out here, and the biggest thing is I got a lot of guys that care. And at the end of the day, that really makes my job easier. Mm-hmm. That they don't need to be constantly scrutinized or under supervision, and I can delegate some things and some tasks, and they go out and they execute it, and it shows at the end of the day that they care and they want it to be the best.
Big time. Now you mentioned overseeding, like, so you've been overseeding into the rough in
correct
turf type tall fescue. Have you gone out with seed yet this year? When does that happen?
Yeah, so we did probably about 80% of the property in late August, early September.
And what do you use?
So we just have the old tractor PTO mounted aerator.
Excellent. Yeah. And then with the seed box on it? Or,
correct.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you did that in August. You get a good take. I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah. Okay. It popped, and we kept isolating. Running some sprinkler heads to keep the seed moist and get it germinating, and hit it with a little bit of fertilizer here and there, and we got a pretty good take. All those POA patches that smoked out a little bit over the summertime that we're not too concerned about because we don't want the POA in the rough.
Yes.
But those have healed in nicely. I mean, some of the POA comes back because it always does.
But a lot of, rather, weak POA is dying, and you're quickly seeding into it at the right time of year that you can get it to out compete.
Correct.
You can get your fescue to out compete.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Let's talk fertility. You have kind of like maybe a different approach. I mean, you're certainly limited on, you don't use much fertility. As you mentioned, like a little bit in the overseed, but like not a lot of fertility, or at least granular.
Yeah, we keep it fairly lean. Greens are at just about maybe a pound of N for the year at this point. With not a lot left to go. We sprayed greens today. We'll probably spray them maybe 2 more times for the rest of the year. Wow. Maybe one snow mold in mid-November, and then another follow-up right before we cover in December. And that'll be it for the year.
The weather does get, the weather pattern changes pretty quickly as you get like up the river here. Like you're a little bit cooler than probably even just where you were in Morris County.
Sure.
Like probably, maybe 3 degrees cooler here. So
it varies.
Yeah, it definitely varies. It gets, I don't know. You've had the cool nights. You don't do well, let's talk about this year. We mentioned it was really challenging, 24.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody listening to this podcast in the Northeast can attest that it was definitely a challenge. It was either super hot and super dry, or super hot and super wet, depending.
Too.
Yeah,
like that. It was so early in June that it got like roasting hot.
Yeah,
and very dry.
Yeah, I mean, my numbers, I think we had maybe 4 days in the 90s in 2023. And then this year, I think at the end, I think we were over 22. I think days in the 90s. At least on this property. So it was trying. There was some long days, some long nights, and a lot of early mornings. But collectively, we made all the right decisions at the right times, and we kept the moisture where it needed to be, and the team was on top of it. And now we've got some tremendous fall golf conditions. So.
Oh, it's so nice out here right now.
Yeah.
It really just couldn't be more beautiful. They're very much enjoying themselves, I'm sure. So yeah, man. Well, very good. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more. Let's chat a little bit more. Just what's unique about this property? You said that you have an 18 holes that's more up on the mountain. Correct. And 9 that's more down at the floor, down towards closer to the river. But the 18 are your championship.
Yeah, so we have the upper course, which is the 18 hole championship course, and then we have the lower 9, which is kind of a short course. There's 5 original CB McDonald holes down there.
Cool. And
which 4 of them were part of the original routing. So it's a great lower golf course for people to go play. They can play every club in the bag. There's 5 par 3s, 4 par 4s. And it's a lot of our competitive amateurs and professional golfers will practice down there routinely just to play unimpeded by people around them and go play a couple balls a hole and get some good practice in. It's some great golf holes.
So it's a CB McDonald golf course.
Correct.
The original 18 that did include some of them. When were the other holes built?
So I forget the year, but Tillinghast was hired to come in, and he added, I want to say, 5 holes out in what we call the woods.
Okay.
So there was some Tillinghast holes out there, and then in the early 2000s, when the club decided to do a renovation or restoration, Gil Hance talked the club into allowing them to just focus purely on the McDonald aspect of the design, which I think was probably the best decision the club could have made at that point.
Wow.
Because all the greens that Gil did and the club did during the renovation came out phenomenal. I mean, they're just really good CB McDonald greens that Gil, whether he drew them up first or drew them up in his mind and then put them down on the soil out here, and they're masterpieces.
And they were done. We'll have to discuss more of that.
Yeah.
We got golf coming up.
We do. We got some golf coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, but I'm just thinking, like, so they didn't touch did they McDonaldize the Tillinghast greens, or did they just leave the Tillies the way they were? Or, like, how did that work?
So they the Tillinghast greens here weren't the strongest greens that Tillinghast ever did.
Right.
For whatever reason that was is unbeknownst, but they let Gil just have a little bit of wiggle room to bring all the CB McDonald characteristics back to the club. That's really what the club was.
Yeah.
And I think it was such a good decision. It just
cool.
They fit the property so much better than I guess what was there, because I had never seen what was there prior. But
where did this fit in with National for McDonald? Did he do this before National?
I think National was done first.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I don't have all my dates locked in my brain.
This was what? This was a 18. What year is that?
So this was 1911.
Okay, 1911.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's really cool. It's just, I mean, it's quite it's just quite a stunning place when you get here. It's really kind of takes your breath.
It's got one of those cool feels. You pull onto the property. It's just one of those places that just hits different.
Mm-hmm. It really does. Yeah. It's like a fortress.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much.
Yeah. My pleasure.
All good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. Hello, all, and welcome to part 2 of the special Halloween episode. I'm sitting here in my living room and joined by my friend and neighbor, Jason Bataille, who's also a scratch golfer. And he's got some interesting perspective where this is all going to fit into that Sleepy Hollow Country Club conversation that we had with Jon Heywood. Jason, thanks for coming here.
Happy to be here. Happy to make the 3-house trek over.
Yeah, dude. It's not that far. Yeah. But we worked it out, and we get to sit down in the off hours, have a Guinness, and chat golf.
Sounds perfect.
Okay, good, man. Well, I'm going to ask you kind of to jump back and recall this time at the USGA Mid-Am from 23. This was last year's Mid-Am.
Feels like an eternity ago.
Okay, yeah. Well, did you play this year?
I did try to play this year. I couldn't qualify at the New Jersey location. I had to find another one in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And
which was,
of course,
where were these places?
God, I knew you were going to ask me that. I don't remember. It was like 45 minutes southwest of Philly. I'm trying to think of, it was like...
Was it Concord Country Club?
No, it wasn't. It'll come back to me. I'll Google it later and I'll find it. But newer design-ish golf course, a lot of fun to play. I would call it kind of like an Arnold Palmer-ish type of design.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wavy fairways. Definitely not Golden Age architecture, kind of like Sleepy is. So
yes, yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
Was it difficult?
It wasn't that hard of a golf course. I played well enough to make it. I just couldn't get my putts to drop, and I missed by 2 shots.
Oh, gutting, dude.
I know. So,
wow.
Anyway, now, I did make it the last 2 years. So in addition to Sleepy, I made it the year before at Erin Hills.
Oh, yes.
And I had never made a U.S. Mid-Am before. So this was my first entree into the U.S. Mid-Am.
Well, I guess for those that don't know, and I'm not sure, I know a little bit, but explain to us, what is the Mid-Am? And how do you qualify, and how does it work?
So the U.S. Mid-Am is the USGA championship for anybody over the age of 25. So there's no limit on how old you can be to play in it, but you have to get to the age of 25. So what it basically has always stood for is it's the working man's championship. The U.S. Mid-Am includes all those kids in college that have aspired to be professionals, and they get this exposure on the national stage. The U.S. Mid-Am is everyone has a job. This isn't what they do, full time. This is their hobby. This is a passion.
Yes.
And everyone has a little bit different perspective. They're having a beer after the round.
I like it.
They have seen each other throughout the summer at different events, and there's a much more camaraderie in this event.
But it is the highest level in the country.
I mean,
the
winner gets to play in the Masters. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So because I'd equate it to what we do in the superintendents associations, because they have their season-long tournaments and it's fun and they take them seriously. But we're talking that amongst the highest level in the country. So
in the world.
Oh, awesome.
So there's different ways that you can qualify into the U.S. Mid-Am. You can go to these qualifiers, which is the way that I've gotten in the last 2 times. There's also a world ranking system. And if you have such a high U.S. or world ranking as a Mid-Am, you can also qualify. We'll get to that when we get to the first round.
Oh, right. Oh, I love this. Okay, great. Okay, so let's dial back to 23 then. And how did you qualify? What were the steps leading up to qualifying at Sleepy? Also, the fact that this is Sleepy Hollow, about 90 miles up the road from here, right? This was cool that this was a local event for you.
I didn't know it was going to be at Sleepy until I was in Erin Hills. So I'm at Erin Hills.
Yes.
And I'm on the putting green the first day practicing. And I look at the signs that are next to the putting green, and it has the next 3 U.S. Mid-Am posters. And I see, and I go, oh my God. I said, I qualified for the wrong one. I go, this one is in my backyard. My friends and family can come.
That's right.
I can drive there if I want to.
Your wife and kids?
Everybody.
Yeah, that's very cool.
My wife and kids came out to sleep. Came out to Erin Hills too. Though.
Yeah, that's
But cool. I was like, oh my God, I qualified for the wrong one. So then fast forward a year.
And you had to regain.
I didn't make match play at Erin Hills.
Okay.
At Erin Hills, my first tee shot, I hit in a hazard. I dropped my second shot, I hit in a hazard. I made a miraculous triple bogey, and so that's how I started that.
Okay, so that was
it was a different.
Yeah, because in 23 was fun. This is conversations about to get very fun.
So fast forward. Now I want to play in the Sleepy one, and I know, and all year long it's on my radar. This is what's coming up. I got to sign up early. Because the spots fill out really quick. If you don't sign up in the first couple hours, sometimes the entire site's full.
Oh wow!
Oh, it's like going on a Disney ride. You have to have your alarm set for these things.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, yeah, or like buying concert tickets.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, got it.
It's Taylor Swift and then U.S. Mid-Am. It's right next to it.
Okay, so you have to sign up. So what month was that? Do you remember?
Call it probably March for like an August qualifier or something like that, or maybe April for an August qualifier.
Got it.
So it's at Knickerbocker is where the so
by the way, Kyle Higgins, the superintendent at Knickerbocker's been on the podcast. Great episode.
That place is one of my favorite places. The amount of money and the work that they're doing there has been awesome.
Oh, unreal.
And I can't wait till because there's still a lot more that they're going to do.
Our Superintendents Association had their chapter championship there this year, just last week. So like and I was very proud of Kyle, happy for Kyle, because he's able to show like all of his industry friends all the work they've done. And yes,
one of my best friends in the world and my partner. So I played in 2 U.S. 4-ball championships.
Cool.
My partner in that is Brian Whitman. Brian Whitman was my college teammate and one of my best friends to this day.
Oh, that's great.
His father is Ed Whitman.
Okay.
Ed Whitman was the pro at Knickerbocker for 100 years.
Oh, wow.
35 years, however long he was there. And he's probably the most accomplished PGA professional in New Jersey ever.
Oh, dude, so cool.
So I played a lot there, and I knew the course, and I was excited to go there for the qualifier. Didn't have to go for practice rounds or anything like that. Because again, we all work, we have jobs. We try to squeeze these qualifiers in between client meetings and whatever.
Sure.
So my same buddy that caddied for me at Erin Hills, who happens to be our neighbor.
Okay, Corey.
Corey
I
lives
love it.
4 houses that way. He caddied for me at Knickerbocker.
Okay.
Started off birdie, birdie, par, birdie. So 3 under through 4 holes is the most ideal start to any qualifier you could ever imagine. And at that point, it was just holding on, make enough pars and birdies the rest of the way. And I think I finished like around 3 under or something like that.
Excellent. Awesome round.
Yep, got me in. I didn't have to get into there was a
playoff
for the last spot. I didn't have to get in. I got in underneath all that. So
how many people from that day qualified?
I want to say 4.
And how is
3 or 4?
Was it always going to be 4, or did you?
Yeah. You know when you sign up. When you sign up, you know it's going to be 4.
Okay, this is a qualifying event that offers 4 spots.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So that was your round at Knickerbocker, which was, you think, like in August of 23.
Yep.
And we're getting ready for Sleepy, which was in
September.
The next month. Yeah, September.
Yep.
Okay.
So once I make it, now I'm trying to make sure that my work schedule, my home schedule, everything kind of works around the days that I have to be at Sleepy.
Oh my gosh.
And you never know what's going to happen. So when we were in Erin Hills, we had a rain day, and Milwaukee recorded like the most rain it's ever recorded in a single day. It was like 8.5 inches or something in one day.
Mm-hmm.
So that got pushed back a couple of days. So I knew that even though I'm hoping it's a certain number of days, you never know what's going to happen.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
So, but I also know that it's Sleepy Hollow, and I plan on being up there every second I possibly can, because it is an unbelievable experience. There's nothing like being on that back patio for the cocktail hours and overlooking the Hudson and the different skyline. It's just
the old Vanderbilt estate, and it's an unbelievable piece of property. Yes. Like you can't really describe. If you knew nothing about golf and someone placed you on that back patio, you would be in awe. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Now you when these events are happening, like you're hanging on the back patio, like you're as if you're a member, kind of, right?
They treat you at these events. The only thing that's even close to being treated like a USGA event is the Gasparillo.
Okay.
The Gasparillo, which is it's a mid-end invitational down in Tampa.
Okay.
Where you get treated just as good as any USGA championship.
Yeah, very cool.
That's the goal of everyone's winner, is to get invited to that event.
Excellent.
But yes, so you show up, they open their doors to the clubhouse, they give you a locker for the week, they make you feel like this is your club, they want you to be comfortable, and you can put on the best show and performance that you can possibly put on.
This is so awesome. Yeah, this is really...
It's especially when it's at these iconic places. Yes. Erin Hills here. My 4-ball championships were at Wingfoot and Pinehurst. Like it's amazing to see. Go back to Pinehurst, and they've got those pages where you sign in, and like it's still hanging on the wall in the halls of Pinehurst.
Wow.
And same thing at Fenway and Sleepy. Like my signature will always be on those halls. Like that's just a cool thing to have.
What year was the Wingfoot 4-ball?
Like when was Cole born? 2016. Because Cole was born 2 days after.
I'm asking because Jon Heywood, who was also the guest on this episode, the super at Sleepy, was the super at Wingfoot at the time.
Get out of here!
Yeah, he was a lead assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, Rabideau's the super there, but yeah,
played both golf courses.
Oh yeah, that's
did not
cool.
make match play.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so now you mentioned Fenway and Sleepy Hollow in 23. Talk to us about how does that work, because they're both venues.
Sure. So the stroke play is going to be 1 round at each place for a total of 36 to qualify into match play.
Okay.
Match play is all played on Sleepy.
Yes.
But there's always an alternate course.
Got it.
When the USAM was here in Jersey, Ridgewood was the golf course, but Arcola was the alternate.
Okay.
They played 18 holes over there.
Okay, and that's the way the amateur works. Yeah, the USGA works for the amateur and the mid-am.
When it was at Erin Hills, the other 18 was Blue Mountain Golf and Country Club, which is a Rainer golf course.
Oh, how cool.
and it had every single template to a T. One of the best golf courses I've ever played. Actually.
Oh wow, excellent. All right. Was that also is that Blue Mound, was that a links as style as well, or was it more Parkland? It was.
No, it was Rainer. Like it was just like it was Rainer, whatever you consider a Rainer golf course. Parkland, like it had the punch bowl. It had the Redan. It had the thumbprint green, the thumbprint par 3, just like 16 at Sleepy. So it had every single one, and those ones were just as good as the ones like they were just awesome templates.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, really cool. I'm a big I love the architecture of the golf courses.
You'd like the EarthWorks podcast. We talk a lot about stuff like that. Okay. So anyway, Fenway and Sleepy.
Fenway is an awesome golf course. They hold an invitational every year called the Middle Mark.
Okay.
And they invite the top amateurs from the Met area over, and it's so difficult. It always plays hard. It's early in the year. You often catch some windy, maybe some chilly weather in early May, and it just beats you up. Like it's a hard event, and I always go and play because I feel like it's such a good test of golf. Those greens are so difficult. This was one of my advantages coming into the US Mid-Am, is that I knew that the hardest, like the highest scoring average was going to happen at Fenway, which I think it did.
Oh, very cool. What a great like home team advantage there. You've been playing at Fenway annually for a long time now.
I always dating back to college, because we played
you went to Rutgers, right?
I went to Rutgers golf team, and St. John's used to hold an event there.
Awesome.
So I knew the golf course. I enjoyed playing it. I knew Fenway more than anything. You have to learn to take your medicine. You have to be very careful on those greens, because if you don't know how to flight your ball on those greens, your ball will hit and spin back. When it spins off the front of a green at Fenway, it could be a 70-yard shot coming in.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah, wild.
So you have to know where to hit your shots. Now, just as much as a Rainer golf course, you have to be able to place your ball and plot around the golf course. That's more so you catch the right slopes and so. At Fenway, it's more of an avoidance. You're trying not to make a big number because you get on the wrong side of a slope or you miss the ball. You'd rather make a 5 because you didn't get up and down from the right side than trying to save a 5.
Wow.
Because you have to hit some kind of miraculous shot or something.
So it's really knowing where not to be.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you have to know where to go, which I would consider Sleepy more of a where to go.
Okay.
Which still helps you and improves your scoring. Fenway is nowhere not to go.
Now, all of this caddy work that I've seen happen because I've greenkeeped for like PGA events, or out in Scotland. I was greenkeeping during the Women's British Open. But anyway, so the caddy work that they do you and Corey do that together? Like, how does that work for you?
Just like it's tough for me to find time to get out to these, like he's got the same problem.
Yeah,
he
has work, has families.
Work, family. The US Mid-Am seems to continually fall
the first week of school.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's right around Remy's birthday.
Sure.
I forgot when I think it's Remy's birthday. And it's it's a lot of
September's hard for
right.
anybody.
Whatever is always a commitment, and there's work, and it's hard for anybody to take off multiple days of work when it's not a planned vacation. Like this is often a little bit more spur of the moment because you don't know until a month before.
Right. And this is in light of the conversation of like, you got to know where to place the ball. So how do you learn?
Yeah.
Like, how do you figure all this out?
I think I enjoy it. I think that's part of
Right.
I enjoy understanding how the ball's going to react, what it's going to do. So when I'm in my practice rounds, like I'm taking notice of the condition of the turf. What is the first bounce doing? What is the second bounce doing? Is it grabbing? Is it not grabbing?
Yes.
Is it going to roll out? What happens if it goes over this mound? What happens if I end up bailing out into this area? Is this going to be an easy shot for this pin, that pin, or that? Like, so I'm always trying to, I kind of know all the scenarios at the green. Like my biggest thing about when I do a practice round is I want to be very conscious of everything that's happening around the green and what conditions are. What is going to be the hardest up and down? What's going to be the ease up and down? I've never been the best ball striker in the whole world, so I've always relied on my short game.
Excellent.
And I think it's maybe the creativity with my short game and the fact that I love it and that I don't get scared if I make it up and down, especially when I know I'm heading into a match play event where I can annoy the living hell out of people and get up and down all the time. That's another, like, I love the mind game part of the match play.
Oh, okay. This is really good. So
you're building here?
Yeah, we are totally. You're building, pal. You're building. Okay, so because we're getting into match play, but now you're talking about inside of like these 40, 50 yards around in these green complexes, like this is where you really enjoy the game.
So I got through, Fenway. Now, Corey came and caddied for me during the events and other things. And then I've had, he would come out to Aaron when he could. In a practice round, I had my dad and my uncle, each caddy a 9. When I got to Sleepy, my buddy Sean came out and caddied in a practice round for me. And
the caddy work that I'm talking about sounds like it's you. You're doing that.
Yeah.
You're knowing where the golf course goes.
Right. And each person that I have that's, like, I don't invite somebody to come take the walk with me if we don't already have some kind of a relationship.
And
they don't have to be the same. Right. They don't have to. It's not a matter of I expect the same thing from everybody. I like that I get something different from everybody. Every encounter is just a different perspective.
Yeah.
I can't change their perspective, so I try to get the most out of whatever their perspective is.
Right. And then
some relationships are meant to keep me relaxed. Some are help me, focus, or some maybe to, read putts, or some to slap me upside my head.
So
I've had multiple. So even at Sleepy,
you had multiple people on the bag.
4 throughout the course of the tournament.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a great round at Fenway stroke play. It led you to.
I don't remember what I think I didn't play that. It was much higher than Sleepy. I think I shot maybe 3 over at Fenway.
Wow. But it was enough because other people were getting beaten by Fenway.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Golf course, and they had the greens were probably rolling faster.
Right.
Than Sleepy.
Right. Well,
and even if they're not faster, they're just more severe.
Yeah, exactly. And probably tinier, old POA. I don't
remember what, maybe.
Yeah. I've been out of Fenway a little bit. So
but feels like it would be POA.
Yeah, definitely. Whereas Sleepy's got more bent grass and more openness there as well.
And my first tee shot of the tournament was at Fenway too.
Oh wow.
And it's on that short par 4, the first hole.
Okay.
It's 270 yards. Something like that, 60 yards. And being the conservative person, I hit a 4-iron off the tee, and I probably hit it 140 yards. I toe chunk. If anybody saw the first tee shot, they were like, "There's no way that guy makes match
breakfast
play.
ball.
100%, that guy's not making match play."
Oh my gosh! But you got yourself through, I guess. Yeah, it's the way it goes. You've been doing this a long time. You know how to recompose and everything like that, regain composure.
I have no issue forgetting about what just happened.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful.
Yes.
I guess that's a golfer's trait.
I think it's because my dad made me read every single golf psychology book growing up. Wow. And I have, I can hear Bob Rotella might be my inner voice. I'm not sure.
So did your father instill this golf passion, do you feel, or does he have the same golf passion?
So he played professional baseball in the Cardinals organization.
Okay.
In the minor leagues.
Okay.
And then became a police officer, and we always played sports growing up. I played basketball in high school. I was my high school quarterback. I played on the golf team. But as you can tell, football was probably not the right avenue for me. And golf was a bigger passion. So yes, great. And he definitely gave me that opportunity and got me into playing in national events and AJGA events, and that's how I got to Rutgers.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, so we're circling back through. No, because I like hearing this background about
Cut
you
some
too.
Of this out.
No, not at all, dude. Not at all. I also know you worked in the golf business. Yeah, for
I was an assistant golf pro for 3 years with Hudson Country Club.
Oh yeah, Our buddy Jason Osterhout is the.
Well, he's been there since Brett left.
That's right.
So, and I was there. Brett was there the entire time I worked there for 8 years.
Oh wow!
From high school through college, and then after college.
Oh, excellent! You were at Metuchen. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So that's such a solid. Like the conditioning of that golf course has an unbelievable reputation.
Yes, it's a really cool place.
Those greens too are another. I always grew up on challenging greens. I grew up at the West 9
of Plainfield. Yeah.
And then I eventually worked my last year in the business at Trump Bedminster.
Yes, which is not easy either.
No, Tyler Otero.
Oh yeah,
was there.
Tom Pepe. Well,
actually, Brunel first.
Yes,
and then
friend of the podcast.
And then Otero.
And
then Pepe and
Rob Wagner.
Now Rob.
Yeah, and Rob's been there forever now.
Yeah,
he lasts over there. Good for him. Rob's a great guy too. Great. So let's see. We got you've been in the golf business now, and you're able to keep it as your passion because you play at a high level, and you take it seriously.
Sure, it helps. It also helps that I sell insurance, and that might be the most golf-related, profession out there, and there's a lot of commonality. And I insure a number of golf courses.
You've kept yourself involved.
Yes, where I'm a sponsor of the New Jersey PGA.
I love it.
The New Jersey State Golf Association I'm involved with, and now the Met I'm involved. So yeah, I try to stay as close to it because I have a huge passion for it.
Yeah, excellent. And you've been able to tie your work into it. It's really great. It's great. So okay, and now with work and making time for big events like the Mid-Am, do you actually tie work into it? Do you bring clients out? Do you?
So what's interesting is that my clients want me to send them the live scoring links when I'm playing. A lot of times my bosses have asked to send me the link when you're like they want to follow and they understand. Sure. And these Mid-Am events, it's not like if you look at all the pictures from the US Mid-Am, you're gonna see the imprint of my phone in my pocket, which is people made fun of me for it. And I go, interesting. But I'm not going to change how I treat, when I play golf in the daytime, right. I'm often emailing and texting with clients and so forth. So I'm not going to then enter a tournament and then act completely different. I try to be the same person from that 30 seconds from before the swing and after the swing. I want to be the same person, regardless of where I am and what I'm doing. So if I can keep that consistent, what happens in between happens in between. I don't want to be hated by the people I'm playing with socially, work-wise, or competitively. So I tried to keep the same type of demeanor and
very positive, level-headed, and just
I don't have grateful. A lot of. There's no big highs and lows. I don't get overly excited, and I don't get overly disappointed.
Yeah, because I think you just enjoy being there. You enjoy doing it, and it comes out. Sometimes sometimes you hit a great shot, and sometimes the hole doesn't play the way you want it to. Oh well. Okay, so 2 good stroke rounds that allowed you to qualify for match play, and
the second one was at Sleepy.
Right.
It got cut short with 10 holes to play because of darkness, because we had a rain delay.
They had an enormous amount of rain that week, which is unfortunate.
Unbelievable. So we had our club championship qualifier at Raritan Valley.
Okay.
At Sunday. So I was actually here because I came home that night. I knew there was going to be a huge delay. I came home and got to sleep in my own bed. I went to the club in the morning, and my friends were all there doing their club championship qualifier in the pouring rain. And they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, it's just good to be here and see everybody. And eventually I got over there and I practiced, and we teed off at 5 o'clock I don't know what time it was. It was late at night.
Wow.
So and I teed off on 10. So my first hole on Sleepy was 10. You have a 1 at Fenway and 10 at Sleepy.
Okay.
So my first hole is 10, the par 3.
Oh, right.
Over the water.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, not easy.
Not where you want to start your... No. And eventually we made our way around and got through the punch bowl on 15, the thumbprint on 16. 17 is an interesting tee shot because you can opt to hit into a fairway that's not even part of your golf course, basically. It's on your golf course, but it's a different hole.
Right.
So, I think I hit a tee shot pretty far right because that's a very safe shot over there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you avoid that bunker down the middle. And now we're all on the green, and we realize that we are really close to hearing the darkness signal. So our choice is, would you rather have your first shot the next morning be with like a tee shot off a 9 off of 18, which is a very hard tee shot to begin with, or a shot from out there in the fairway? We all wanted the shot out there. We didn't want to have to hit that tee shot.
Right.
So I volunteered to putt out while everyone was, because all we need is one person in the group to tee off before the horn blows.
Okay.
So before they even were ready to putt, I 2-putted out, made par, went right to the tee and hit my tee shot in the left rough.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then the horn blew. It was perfect timing. They finished their putt out. They came over to the tee. They took their time. They hit their tee shots up there. And then we all marked our balls and went to bed for the night.
And this was still the stroke play, right? Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, do you feel like you were rushed, or did that...
I don't think it was the right decision.
Yeah, you took one for the team, and that's why I'm asking. You might have rushed through for the benefit of those, for the three of you.
So now I come back the next morning and I hit a tee shot. I have my ball in the rough. I hit it short of the green. I chip off.
Were those guys in the fairway, by the way?
I think one was the fairway, one was in the right rough. But right side's much a better miss than left side.
Right. So
left side's a big hill. The ball's below your feet, and you have a long iron. Ball below your feet with a long iron. You can't rotate. It's really hard to get the ball at the distance you want.
Okay.
Anyway, so I make bogey. Then the next hole, I think I hit it in the bunker. Had to hit short. It didn't get up and down, and then another bogey. I think I parred the uphill par 4, number 2. Hole 3, I hit a skinny 7 or 6 iron, and it gets into the front bunker. So now this front bunker, you can't see in this room, but I mean, you have to, if this is the base of it, I have to hit it over that shelf right there.
Oh no,
so
yeah.
It's a 9 foot, 8 foot, whatever that. It's
a deep bunker.
Yeah. And I hit it skinny. I take too much ball, and it shoots over the green. And now the pin's pushed up against the back. So over the green is the worst possible place to be. So now I've got an almost impossible up and down. I hit a flop shot I thought was a great shot. Still went past. 2-putt. I make 5. So now I'm a double bogey. So I just went bogey, bogey, par, dot, double.
This is the start of your day. Yeah.
I'm out. I know that I have... So what do I have now? I've got 4. A par 4.
Okay.
Even before that, I think I looked at Corey, and I think I basically said, well...
There's my round.
No holding back now. We're out of it, so might as well just try to do something crazy. Wow. I think that's what we said. Let's just do something crazy.
Okay, I love this.
So part 4. 5, you have a blind tee shot, and you have to know there's a rock up there.
Okay.
Do you know about the rock on?
No, I don't.
There's a rock up in the right rough.
Okay.
And your line is to hit over top of that rock. The rock is no bigger than this.
But you can see it from the tee?
You can see it from the tee.
Okay.
Because otherwise it goes down to the left. And
so that's your line.
You have to hit on the line. Shot up there. I hit my shot up to 15, 18 feet. And I make the birdie putt. I'm like, oh.
Excellent. Okay.
Cool. Only got to play the next 4 holes 2 under. I to play 3 under in this when you're making bogeys, like you're not making a lot of birdies. You haven't made, I don't think I made 2 birdies on one side yet. And I've got 4 holes left. I have to make 2 birdies. Yeah. Not exactly ideal. So next you have the par 5 dogleg right.
Okay.
Which is probably the hardest tee shot in the golf course. Because you can't lay up. Because you lay up into the mountain, there's nowhere to go.
Right. So you have to
hit driver. Like you have to hit driver.
It's you have to cut the dog leg?
I don't think that tee shot gets enough like
credit.
Like,
okay. It's a super hard shot.
It's a super hard shot. And I hit a good shot. I hit, a good driver. I'm in the fairway.
Is there a tree? There's
what's woods on the risk? Right. If you clip the trees on the right, it's a good chance you fall down into no man's land. You won't find your ball. If you pull it left, it's short because it goes out and to the right. So you pull it left, you're cutting off the hole. You run out of fairway and you go down in another hill.
You have to really
if you
drop
hit
this ball.
If you, God forbid, you hit a 20-yard draw as your normal tee shot, I don't know how you hit that shot.
Interesting.
You could probably hit a 7-iron to the bottom of the hill, an 8-iron to the bottom of the hill, and then another 8-iron up, and then like a 6-iron onto the green.
Oh, gosh.
That just gives me nausea just to think about having to do that.
Okay. So now you don't draw that like that.
I can hit it straight.
You can
draw, little fade. I try not to make my ball move too much in either direction.
Got it. Yeah. So generally,
no matter
straight.
what, I try not to make my ball move.
Got it.
I hit a good tee shot. And I have I want to say I've got a 4-iron into the green.
Maybe. So what? 220?
No, I think it was closer to 210.
Okay.
210, 205.
Got it.
Back left. Not the hardest pin, but not the easiest pin. Front left, middle is kind of the easier. I think back left there's still some things to deal with back there. And my playing partner, Kevin Grady, who is going to be in. He's playing very well. He's probably going to have a top 15 seed. He's playing very well. My other partner is out of it. So I'm the topic of conversation in the group. So and this is the part about it being a great dynamic with this mid-am, is that they're rooting for me.
Yes.
They want me to do well.
Yes.
Something happens and the one guy hits, I think it was Kevin, but he hit his shot from 70 yards out, and I hit my 4-iron first, and I hit maybe the best swing of the day, and I'm 12 feet above the hole.
Got it.
He ends up being, from his 70-yard shot, 13 feet above the hole. So he's giving me the line.
Awesome.
He's so excited to just be giving me
he's
it's no way you could plan it, but it was
so you guys are walking up to the green talking about this, bro, I think I'm putting first.
I don't even think we said anything. There was no words exchanged.
Wow.
But
this is great.
We can just feel he's rooting for me.
Where's
right?
Kevin Grady or O'Grady?
Kevin Grady's from Maryland.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Another East Coaster.
The East Coaster.
Yeah, cool.
And a Northerner.
Yeah.
Northerners try to root for each other in these events because we have a limited season to compete against these guys that are...
Interesting. Yeah, the guys in Florida play all year.
And there's different grass, too. We find that we have an advantage when, they come and putt on bent grass. Now, there's speeds that they might not be used to.
The ball grips less or, different. Different. Totally different.
You never know.
Got it. He shows you the line on this.
Shows me the line. He hits a great putt. I think he taps in for par. And I make my 12-foot eagle putt.
Holy shit.
So, suddenly things are getting real. Where I'm oh, wow. Now I know where the cut is going to be. We have a pretty good idea.
Let me tie this into the conditions then, too, because, they'd have to be just mint for that ball to roll the right way on a 12-foot eagle putt on a par 5, dealing with the rain, dealing with moisture.
Downhill.
Yeah, downhill, dealing with
right to left, maybe 4 inches,
Oh.
like outside the cup. So like
those guys dial it in,
I would say I probably hit 2.5 foot putt. That's probably the putt I was trying to hit.
Oh my
maybe
God.
3 foot putt. Because
it's downhill.
I have the speed down to this point. Like it's downhill. I know it's gonna roll out.
And it
You
did.
know what it's gonna do. It rolled out and went right in the center. And
Nice.
I think all 3 of us fist bumped. So that was cool.
Okay. How many more holes left now?
3.
3. Oh, geez.
3 of the hardest hole. At least the next 2 holes are just unbelievably hard.
Oh.
So now you have the downhill reverse Redan.
Right. Reverse Redan. Now a Redan falls
Typically,
away from.
A Redan is typically high right to low left, a bunker on the left, and a
Okay.
lot of times around the back edge too.
Okay. Jeez. So
This
guarded.
is a reverse Redan. So this is left to right.
Left to right.
Still a bunker in the front and bunker along the back.
Right.
What makes I would say unique, because if you go to Hackensack, Hackensack has the normal Redan, right to left, very, very difficult.
Somerset Hills.
Somerset Hills.
I thought they have a Redan.
Yes, number 2, the par 3.
Yes.
That might be the hardest Redan in the world.
Okay, got it.
So this one isn't that hard.
Okay, got it.
This one's longer.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, depending on the wind and everything, you can hit as much as a 4-iron, 5-iron to this one. Into the wind, you could probably hit a rescue. Like this one's a hard hole, but it's a bigger green too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the bigger Redan greens I've played. Unnecessary side note, but I'm gonna say it anyway. As this summer, I got to play the first ever Redan, which is at North Berwick.
Oh yeah, Scotland. Yeah.
15, 14, whatever it was. So first ever Redan, I got to play that one. So that was
that's
cool
pretty
because I liked that.
Yeah, you love the architecture.
Yeah. So this Redan, whatever, I made a great shot, long putt, almost I lipped out my 30-footer. I made par, I was happy. Next hole is probably the hardest par 4 in the golf course.
Okay.
Number 8.
Long.
You're hitting 5-iron into the green. I forgot the name of it, what the style is, but like there's a front right part of the green and then a slope down and then a bunker and then a big green. Like the green is kind of like L-shaped.
Okay, interesting.
There's a name for it. I can't think of it, but made what I would consider great par there. Very happy with that.
You're holding on to these three strokes that you picked up earlier.
Making a birdie hasn't even crossed my mind at this point.
Got it.
Because these are the 3 holes that I would not want to have to come to. Like I wrote myself off because I knew that these 3 holes were so hard to make a birdie.
That's it. Got it.
And then 9, it's a tier in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And the pins in the back on the back tier.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big tier. Again, I wasn't.
It's a finishing hole, and it's going to be.
I hit it to
nasty.
the front tier. I hit up. I knock in the 2-footer, 2.5-footer for par, and I get out of there. And now I wait. I have no idea.
And now, how many of the field are you waiting for? Because this round was split up. It was right. Like
I think I was towards the end, so I don't know exactly how many, but I had a pretty good idea that I was going to get into I was going to at least make the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I rode in, I realized I was going to be in a playoff.
Wow. And this the
playoff didn't start. The playoff didn't start until later. So there might have been more than I remember.
Than you remember, because you only played 9 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 holes in the morning. Then
the playoff didn't start until 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh wow, jeez! So you waited a while. Yeah, you did. Unless you didn't.
Maybe it was earlier. There was a lot of clouds rolling in. There was thunder happening, so a lot was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 groups in the playoff. I'm in the last group, which is an advantage because you know what you need at that point. And then the playoffs on the punch bowl, par 5.
Oh wow!
So I know there's a bunch of pars,
This number you said 15.
15,
yeah.
The only thing you can't do is hit it in the left rough. As long as you don't go in the left rough, you have a shot to get on the green.
this is a absolutely picturesque hole as well. You can see the Hudson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Once you get up, you don't see as much when you're back in the fairway.
Right.
You have an idea.
About 100 yards out, you start to see the river.
Yeah. So just don't go on the left rough.
Okay, got it. That's where you end up.
I went on the left rough. I'm the only person in my last group. We all know what we need because we can all see it on the app. We all know what everyone's making.
Okay. Oh, got it.
We know that enough guys made par, or you make birdie and you're in. So I'm like, oh my God. So now I know I can't go for the green because there's a massive oak tree in the way.
This is for one spot or for?
No, it was 16 for 13, I think.
Okay, got it.
So we already know that there's enough guys made par that they're gonna go to the next hole, which is the thumbprint green.
Okay, got it.
Which is a hard hole. You don't want to play that hole. So we go to the next. We go to the par 5. I'm in the left rough. I have to lay up to 90 yards. Not ideal. Everyone else puts it up like on the green. Everyone else drives almost on the green in my group, I think. Maybe one guy went left and whatever. Because you just have to hit it to 60 yards on the left side of the fairway and it funnels all the way down to the hole. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. So now I have to hit it to where I have to hit it to. I can't see the pin. Can't see anything. All I see is the big flag in the back. I have to walk up, figure out my yardage. On the left-hand side is the tee box for 4 and 15. So everybody's out there because now you have all the spectators that are hanging around.
Oh my gosh.
The family and friends of all 16 people that are in the playoff right now.
Oh man.
And we're the last group, so everybody is there. There's probably 100 people out there. So I take my lob wedge out, I hit a shot, and there's no reason to look forward, so I'm looking at the 100 people that are standing there. We're waiting, and all of a sudden, like, they erupt. And I'm going,
I had no idea about this.
I didn't know, like, what happened or anything. Pin was in the front, and anybody that knows that green, like, you can't get a ball to stop on the front of that green. Like, it's impossible.
Oh.
And it just, unless you're hitting a lob wedge as high as you possibly can, and it comes down and stops. And I hit a shot to like 2.5 feet.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
I go down there, I'm excited, I grab my putter, I'm ready to make this thing, and I put my mark down, and the horn goes off. We have to go in, and so now we have to wait inside for an hour and a half before we can putt.
Oh,
I go out to the putting green. Once they let us go out, I just remember my putter. All I need is a putter. Doesn't matter after that. So I go and I start hitting 2.5 foot putts. Second one I hit, I missed.
Oh my God.
Doesn't matter. I went out, I made it.
You drop it. So that's eagle.
No, birdie.
Oh, that's birdie. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So I'm in.
Okay.
I'm like the 59th spot, 61st spot, whatever, out of 64.
Oh,
I forgot what my exact spot was.
So awesome, dude. To stroke play or to match play. Yeah.
So now
so
I get
awesome. And you didn't do that at Erin Hills. Yeah.
So I haven't made match play. This is my 6th USGA championship. It's my first time making match play since 2003.
Oh my gosh, a long time ago.
Yeah, where I lost to Matt Every in the first round.
Okay, so first time in 20 years. Okay, wow.
Yeah,
wild. You were still in college then in 03?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so match play is how many rounds of match play are there? How does that
you start
work?
with 64 and you go 64, 32 all the way down.
Gosh, yeah.
So first round I get Harry Bolton, who's I didn't look him up before we started. I'm glad I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So some people get in by world rankings. He was the 9th ranked mid-amateur in the world. I had no idea. I'm so happy I didn't know.
Is he English?
He's Australian.
Okay.
So he didn't have to qualify. He just got in automatically.
Holy cow.
And
Good
he
thing
played
you didn't
great.
go.
And he ended up in like whatever. He was a 6th seed, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
I'm 59. He's 6, something like that.
Oh my gosh.
On paper, he doesn't lose to me ever. Ever.
Did you get in his head? What did you do?
Don't know. I just played okay, made some birdies, made some pars. I got up and down and probably annoyed him from like he could tell the way I hit a ball. Like he should not lose to me.
Well, maybe his game was not ready for this course.
Right? I don't know what golf's like in Australia.
I think it's more like Florida.
It could be.
But anyway, who knows? So there you go, first round.
Got him.
Yes.
And I beat him 17 holes, 2-1, I think it was. And then I'm in eating lunch, and I haven't even looked at the bracket yet. I don't know who I'm playing next. And I decided to look, and I realized I'm playing Todd White.
Mm-hmm.
Todd White, at that time, was the current U.S. Senior Amateur Champion.
Oh my God!
And I know who Todd White is because he's he's nationally known. I think he's from South Carolina. He is that summer he won, I don't know, every event possible in South Carolina.
This guy. Yeah.
I know him because he's the U.S. Senior Amateur Champion. Like everyone knows who Todd White is.
Right, got it.
He's a school teacher.
Oh, so cool.
And he carries his own bag. 55 years old and carrying his own bag.
Oh, this is a great
It's
guy.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a caddy.
Uh-huh.
So that first round, my buddy Sean Marikakis from Burnsville, member at Rare and Die with me.
Yes. And I know Sean too. His sons and Dan swim together.
Oh, yeah. So he came out and caddied for me again. And Harry, he's like, yeah, I'll come out with you. Because that's awesome. Corey had to work because we're
so cool.
We're responsible people. We have to work.
Yes,
we have to work, right?
Yeah, this is during the week. In September. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the first 2 rounds on the weekend, which is great. But then match play, it's Monday.
Right. Yeah. Hello.
So Sean came out and it was awesome. And it was fun. I had a buddy with me and we're,
oh my gosh,
just joking around and playing and and that's what I needed. I needed no pressure. I needed to relax. So that was like the right prescription for that round. It's perfect.
Okay.
Then I have Todd White. Now it's like, now this is serious. I'm like,
this is Tuesday now?
So this is Tuesday. Both of these matches are both Tuesday.
Got it, yeah. Nothing
in my mind thought I was getting to Wednesday. Wednesday did not, I think I had meetings scheduled for Wednesday.
Back to work.
I was back to work on Wednesday.
How do y'all be home? Yeah.
And Jackie drove out all the days and came out and watched, and she brought her schedule out.
Now. This is everyone's schedule.
Yeah. So and it was great to have the kids come out for some of the stroke play events and everything. So the stroke play rounds. So now I have Todd White. Sean's got to go to work in the afternoon, so I have to find another person to come caddy for me for the afternoon, and I get Brian Whitman.
Okay, yeah.
So now I've got somebody who knows my game better than anybody else.
Awesome.
So this was a huge advantage. So now I've got someone that I know can read putts. I know can be like a different type of person out there, which maybe for Todd White was exactly what I needed. 17 holes, and I beat him. Didn't see that coming. Nobody saw that coming.
Wow.
They were interviewing him like before the event. Are you going to be the first? Do you think you can be the first person to ever win the U.S. Senior and U.S. Mid-Am in the same year? Yeah, so that was cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you took down 2.
So now I'm in the top 16. This did not occur to me. Yeah.
And not an easy path of getting to the top 16.
I don't think so. But
no. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is like, holy cow.
But the whole time for both of those rounds, I think it was the love for the golf course, though, because people always ask me, like, what are your favorite golf courses? Like, list out your, or what are the best golf courses? And I said, I don't know how to use that. I don't know how to rate my best golf courses because I played so many different types of golf courses. I said, but I can tell you what my favorite golf courses to play are. And I always say, I don't think I have an order, but I probably have a top whatever.
Right.
And the Pine Valley, Sleepy Hollow, Mountain Ridge, like these are the ones that I'm always including in like my top 5 just because I love to play them. They're fun, the environment, everything around them, like the history, like that's how I like rate golf courses. It's my favorite golf courses to play.
There you go.
Right.
And this was on it, so Sleepy was well on it.
I didn't know how much it was going to be on it.
Right.
until the first time I stepped foot on the property. And the first time I stepped foot on the property was for like a Holderness and Bourne thing, and I didn't get to play.
Wow.
So
which might make you want it even more.
Yes. Then I came back for an outing, and I was like, oh God, this isn't the same thing. I'm playing from these up tees. Like I need to experience this. And the first time actually getting to play it was the practice round of this.
Are you playing from the tips, by the way, in these rounds, would you say? Like, how do they set up the golf course?
I'm trying to think if there's any holes we didn't. Most of these courses, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they change it up.
Aaron Hills might be longer.
Aaron Hills definitely not.
Yeah, I would say.
Aaron Hills
Yeah, that's very long.
They should have built 2 golf courses on that property.
Okay, so got it.
But there's a couple holes where they'll switch it up. They'll move a par 4 up and make it drivable. They did that when I played Harry Bolton. He hit like a 310-yard drive and drove one of the par 4s. And I was like,
damn.
Oh, that shot.
What did you do on that hole? Did you
laid up with a rescue and tried to hit a wedge up there, and I think I lost that hole.
Whatever. Yeah, wound up beating them. Okay, so top 16, dude.
So then I get to top 16, and I play this guy Parker Edens. Parker is the golf coach for like University of South Dakota.
Okay.
He played like 10 years on tours.
Yeah.
All over.
Yeah, this was going to be a challenge.
It's going to be a challenge. Never heard him before. Had no idea who he was. Was 2 up going to 9. I've got a 5-footer for par. He leaves one in the bunker, green side, impossible up and down. He makes an impossible up and down for bogey. I 2-putt, and we're some 2 up through 9 on Parker. Then he goes like birdie, 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 par, birdie. He just
turned it on.
He turned it on.
Yeah.
And he beat me on the 17th hole. So,
okay.
Whatever that ended up being, 2-1 or 3-1 or something like that.
Wow.
So he turned it on. After we got through 9. His dad, his father-in-law, who's caddying for him, decided to go sit down, and he goes, I can't go anymore. And his wife then picked up the bag for the last 9 holes, and then he turned it on.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it was just like, Jackie was like, I should have grabbed it.
Well, good for him. And that's what's fun about this, it sounds like. Like there's your whole community of just love of the game people.
Yeah.
Love of the game people.
Yeah.
We do this because we love it.
Right.
We're not doing this for money. We're not doing this. We're in fact like it's very stressful to fit this into our normal lives.
It is.
Yeah.
But I think anything that's that passionate and brings you a different type of joy.
Oh, I love this. Well, I mean, this was like, like what an experience, and so cool that people that you don't have to be on the PGA Tour to get this sort of thing in your life. You know, you've gotten this in your life.
Very fortunate to have found like a different type of like golf career that you can play some of the best golf courses, the best conditioned golf courses. And even for our events, they still get them in the top shape that they can get them in, which is so special to us.
Absolutely,
and
they
it's
do.
Very much appreciated by us. So we just played down at Hudson River for the Madame. Like that golf course was hard and fast. And for those of us who liked a challenge and need to be creative, and we like to take that 330-yard drive away from some of these guys that can bomb it, like the creative, keeping a golf course hard and fast and super difficult is so challenging, and it makes it that much more fun for us to play.
I love that. Like that eagle putt you had, like that was a 14-footer that you said you only hit it really 2 feet.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
that shouldn't have gotten there, but it got there.
Right. In spite of it being a very wet week and everything like that.
That's the best part, is that especially this level, that's a different level than we see a lot of times. Like that level at Sleepy, that was, we saw it at Aaron Hills. Like the day after it rained, it looked like it didn't rain. Sleepy didn't quite have that because it still had golden age of it, and a lot of that old. It didn't have like the fact that it was just built like Aaron did.
Yes.
But still, it was so similar conditions to the people that played it before it rained.
Awesome.
That it wasn't a
They made it
disadvantage.
fair too. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. These guys take it very seriously. Yeah. Now, just because you mentioned it, and because I like the place, and it's right around the corner, and they're also friends of the EarthWorks podcast and EarthWorks. You remember at Raritan Valley, and you're on the Greens Committee as well. Is that right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Tell us a little bit about your place over there. What?
It's a Herbert Barker
Okay.
design, which is not a very well-known architect. He only did 3 golf courses in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
He did Raritan Valley, he did Rumson,
Okay.
and he did Arcola.
Oh wow, yeah.
But Arcola they moved the 9, so it's a different golf course now. And what they've done is off the charts incredible.
RV is a classic golf course here, right?
RV is, yes, absolutely
1920s,
1911.
Wow, old, yeah.
Yeah,
1911. There you go. All right.
It's probably got more room to make it, to expand, and to make it not necessarily, you don't have to make it longer. I don't believe that length makes a golf course better, just to improve and to improve the holes and to bring it back to a time that the architect kind of like intended for it to be. It's kind of the goal for the place one day to
you have some
really
master
go
plans
back to its roots. Yep, we had a golf course architect, Jack Skurkanich.
Oh yeah,
Jersey guy.
Yeah,
from Rumson, and he was a big part of the Rumson renovations. So was the Greens chair down there.
Excellent.
And longtime friend of mine. So we brought him in. He did a great master plan for us, and hopefully we can get those kicked off eventually. But yeah, RV is a special place, and especially to this community and to the people here in Bridgewater where we live, being in our hometown, and to have a club like that with all the amenities and everything that we have there is really, really cool.
And the character and the history and everything. My cousin told me that he read that the World War I is now you might know the deets on this.
So the Frelinghuysen estate was where
PC Richards
is now.
Yes. Of course. There's still gates.
The entryway gate is there,
and there's a monument,
and there's a small little plaque that says essentially what happened is the president at that time,
Harding,
on the golf course.
Yeah, Warren G. Harding, yes,
was on Raritan Valley playing, and in between nines, or in the middle of his round, he had to come off, and whatever the
this was after a treaty.
Yeah, but it wasn't the Treaty of Versailles. It was
because
I forgot there was another.
Yeah, this was in like 1921 or 19, and the war ended in 1919. Yeah. This was like they finalized
our official removal of troops, whatever it was, from the war. He came off, went to the Frelinghuysen estate, signed this declaration, whatever it was, and then went back and finished his round at Raritan Valley. So we now have a historic committee, and we're trying to kind of go back into the roots and kind of re-earth some of the history of the club, some of the old pictures, try to find, pictures of like those type of people.
It was a new club at that point, if you think about it. It was only like 10 years old, that golf course. Yeah. Oh, this is really cool.
We have this white building down by our halfway house. It's our squash house. It's like a historic monument. Like you wouldn't know it. You'd think it was a shed that was put there, but it's one of the oldest squash houses like in the state. And we've since moved the clubhouse in the 50s was moved up to the top of the hill.
Okay.
It used to be down there by that gate entrance.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I didn't realize that.
We've had a pickleball, and now we have hard shoe tennis courts, and
you have
all
a beautiful
the different
pool
amenities.
Facility. Yeah.
We just built a whole new pool and tiki bar and all kinds of
You're
stuff.
You're a family club.
It's very much a family club.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a really nice place. Yeah. Jason, this was fun, man. Thank you for recounting. Yeah. Thanks for having a Guinness with me.
Thanks for the Guinness.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, listeners. I hope you enjoy this special spooky edition of the Halloween EarthWorks podcast, talking about Sleepy Hollow on both sides of the ball. So thank you all.